What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Venomcast. I'm your host, the one and only Mr. John K. To my this way on your screen is the great bearded one, Garrett Rainey, my co-host for
How
this
about
week.
it?
Kyle Zittle, once again, MIA, bum. He's buying
What a
pants.
bum. What
He's
a bum.
off to buy pants. Real world stuff getting in the way of our fake internet racing. How dare he? And on the bottom, one of the most famous numbers in Venom, I would say. The double nickel. Mr. Paul Ellison, part of the Alabama gang. Everybody give
Oh,
Paul a big round of applause.
howdy,
I'll edit
howdy.
I'll edit it in. Um Paul having a great season once again, coming off of, I believe you won most improved driver last season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Sportsman of the year previously, also one of the nicest guys on the track until you piss him off, and then he's not very nice. Currently fourth in the point standings, which we will talk about the point standings. I have some information on the points for this episode, but we'll get into that momentarily because actually I think we should start with the points situation. Andy Poliski, he's knocked on the door, I think, the last 2 or 3 seasons, finishing second. This year, firmly in the driver's seat, has a 48-point lead over Steve Roman. 2 wins on the year, 8 top 5s, 11 top 10s, 3 poles for Mr. Poliski in the 32. I believe he needs to finish 18th or better next week at Darlington, a track that I'm very excited to go to. I believe he needs to finish 18th or better, and he wraps up the championship 2 weeks early.
Probably.
From what I've heard. Had a rough race at North Wilkesboro, but I mean, Andy's had such a strong season, and we will have him on probably next episode if he wraps up the championship. That's what I'm thinking right now. It's been a while since we've had Andy on, but I mean, watching the early part of the season, it's just Andy's finally got that golden horseshoe away from the RNS guys of Nathan and Ryan, and looks like he's finally going to wrap one up. No more Mark Martin syndrome for the 32. Paul, you're still in striking distance for second, not seventh. But you very well, if you have a bad race, you could end up seventh
too.
You could end up seventh.
Yeah, it's really tight right through there.
Yeah, I believe. Let's see. Steve is 48 points back of Andy, so
Ryan's 2 behind him.
Yep, and then you're 8 behind Ryan. Jeremy McKinnon's 3 behind you, and then Will Salamone is 8 behind Jeremy.
Yep.
And then Brantley Gainey in 7th. What a season for Brantley, picking up his first win 2 weeks ago at Atlanta. We had him on last episode.
See that one.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good one. Brantley's probably in the running for most improved. If I had to make a guess, I think he would get my vote.
He definitely is in the running. I think he's the favorite at this point in time. There's some other guys though, man.
Yeah.
Pascal Samard.
Oh yeah,
great improvements. Kyle Dooming's made some drastic improvements this season as well. I mean, there's others out there obviously that I'm not thinking of right now, but yeah, I think Brantley's the forefront in that one.
Yeah, I think Brantley's had just every race you watch, Brantley's been strong, and he gets better every single race, and he's going to be somebody not to take lightly going forward, especially this week at Wilkesboro, which again we'll get into momentarily. As far as the team standing goes, Broke Guy Racing with a 102-point lead over RNS, 6 wins. Andy has 2 of them. Jeff has 3. Jeremy has 1, I think is the breakdown. Steve probably should have 2 or 3 also. Broke Guys just dominated. They've been good strategy. They've had good speed. Yeah, it's just been an awesome season. I'm assuming that's about locked up too. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean they've been pretty dominant all year.
102 points sounds like a lot to overcome, but it's the top 2 points getting top 2 finishing drivers from a team that get points.
Yes.
So yeah, and then 3BM, we're down in 7th. Alabama Gang's in 4th. You guys are 38 points behind Insert Coin Racing. And again, we talked about Brantley winning. Insert Coin's been really good all season too. Michael Dean, All-Star race winner. Jan, I don't know how he hasn't won a race yet, but he's on the doorstep.
He's
I feel
always
like
up there.
every week. Yeah, 3BM's 88 points behind Raging Moose. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get there. It's gonna be tight. But Kyle Dooming and I have been good. If Brandon Byers shows up, which I doubt, because he's a bum too. We'll see what happens. Points are big right now. 2
I'm a
races
little
left.
distracted. Alabama's trying to win an SEC championship and secure a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament right now.
That doesn't matter.
What's
That
the
does
score?
matter, Paul. Roll Tide.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh
Almost
boy,
forgot.
we're having an Alabama off right
That is
now.
the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life.
This is the most beautiful hat. There we go. We'll just sit like that.
Michigan got knocked out in the
Garrett's
first
something to look
round.
at.
Michigan
That's
got
because
knocked
they're
out
a
the
bunch
first
of
round.
bums.
So did Auburn in the first
Yeah.
round of the SEC.
Yeah, we sucked this year. We're not here to talk basketball though. We're here to talk fake.
I don't even like
Internet.
basketball.
Talk fake internet racing. So this week, North Wilkesboro, a track that is very near and dear. Could have been more near and dear if I didn't suck so bad in season 3. I was.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. As the guy who finished second.
I was fishing, so I didn't get to run it the first time.
Oh yeah, that's right. I changed lanes on a restart, or me and Garrett could have possibly maybe finished 1-2 or 2-3. Either way.
If I'd have just dumped a teammate, I'd have won that race.
Yeah, we both had a lot of speed. Yeah, I switched lanes on a restart. He gave it up. Finished. I don't even know where. I didn't care. But this season, it's the throwback race, and I was pumped. I ran Cole's Virginia's for Lovers truck as a shout out to my mom, because I love my mom. Paul, stop it. Stop it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Stop it.
Okay.
So yeah, I did that as a nice little thing for my mom, even though it's slightly more inappropriate than it probably should be. Garrett, what scheme?
It's a good joke.
Garrett, what scheme did you get to run for the throwback race this year?
I ran Ryan's Myrtle Beach scheme.
It's a good looking scheme.
It is.
It looks awesome. I love what he did with the is it a Ferris wheel in the numbers? Yeah. That is cool. Paul, what truck did you run?
I run a Mr. John K's DQ truck, the flip or whatever it's called. I don't know. I just liked it when I saw it on track, and now that I've run it, I told you I think in chat that I was going to leave it for officials. Keep it using it because I really like the way that truck turned out. Thank you, Corey Rutherford, for the paint.
Cool eats or cool treats and hot eats.
Yeah, it was an original Ryan Dye original modified by Corey for my truck.
Yeah, that thing looked really good on a Chevy. I was very happy to see it out there. That is the paint scheme of the season from season 4, 5. What's it in right now? Yeah,
it beat the Mosaic.
Sorry, that truck was out there too. Corey ran that truck.
Yeah, he spent when he made that paint for me. It was just an idea I threw at him, and I don't know how many days he spent on it, but he spent
awesome.
A lot of time on it, and he swore to me he'll never do another one like that.
I was so surprised that the DQ truck won, but I was so happy because
it's a good looking truck.
It is a good looking truck, and the Fago truck never won a paint scheme of the year. The Rock and Rye one, I think, could have.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I just have no clue what that is. So
what Fago?
Yeah, and much less Rock and Rye.
I don't know what Rock and Rye is either, but it's delicious.
Fago's in Alabama, but Rock and Rye I've never seen.
Right. Rock and Rye is delicious. If you ever find it, try it. Steve's honeycomb truck beat it in season 2 in the finals. That truck looks sick too, so I can't even be mad.
That's like an iconic truck now, that honeycomb.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. The Fago truck still runs today. and it'll run wherever I go at free agency. But yeah, so now that we know what we all ran, we all looked good. We all looked, nice and snazzy. And you know what Dion said: if you look good, feel good, you run good. Um, well, I didn't run so good in qualifying. I qualified in the back. Ryan Dye grabbed a pole. I don't know how many that is
Shout
on the
out,
season.
Tommy.
Shout out Tommy Cook. Tommy Tracks grabbed his pole. Will Salamander P2.
Yeah.
Frickin' Salamone P2. What a
So
qualifying effort.
Will's one of those you got to watch out for every race.
Sneaky good on a hot lap. Paul Ellison qualified P11.
Yep.
Almost got her in the top 10. And then Garrett qualified P17 for the 16 truck.
I was right where I wanted to be, just sitting around riding for a while.
And I qualified dead last out of everybody that qualified. So P23. And the track, hot and slick, I think is the best way to describe it. It was a little tricky. Paul, why are you making that face?
I guess I just liked the truck really, really loose, and it
Yeah.
wasn't loose enough to me.
Really? You could have gone to the hotter track temp, huh?
I don't know the track temp. I don't know how much that affected because it was slick.
It was slick, yeah. Didn't loosen it up enough for you.
I was sliding my fronts more than I was my rears.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on because I was stuck behind too wide. Not for very long. We had a caution on lap 2. Ethan Patterson looped it in turns 3 and 4, and I think that kind of gave everybody an idea of how tricky it was going to be having a caution that early. Getting the field all stacked up like that, you're more likely to have issues. Just close quarters, net code, all kinds of stuff that can happen, especially on a short track. Ryan Borboom was collected in the incident. Nobody pit. Obviously, it was only 2 laps into the race. Then we get some green flag running, and I don't know about you guys. Actually, I do know about Garrett because Garrett wasn't too far ahead of me, but my God, in the back, everybody was too wide. I was stuck behind too wide everywhere I went.
Yep, and that's why I was just content riding early. I didn't want to force any issues. Too many people to try to pass to even really get anywhere. And, some people, especially if you put them 3, they're going to panic. They're going to make mistakes. No point in that early in the race. Just ride.
Paul, what was it like for you up near the top 10?
I was in a good little battle, mostly with Brantley and Michael Dean. I think most of the race. I think that's who I was around most of the race. We kept just swapping it up and everything. It was fun. I will say that it was fun.
Yeah, I had a good time getting to race some of the people I got to race. Obviously, I got to race Garrett at a point in time coming through the field. Me and Michael Crawl had a couple of humdingers going back and forth. Crawl was a lot of fun to race around. So that caution on lap 26 comes out. Everybody pits except for me and Jeremy McKinnon. I wanted some track position. I wasn't practicing throughout the week. I saw tires fell off, and I was not sure after 24 laps how much mine had fallen off because I was stuck behind too wide. So I was like, I'm not really pushing anything or doing anything crazy here. Turns out they fell off a lot because I did not go. I went backwards in a hurry. The reason I stayed out, and I was not aware of this before the race, but I stayed out because I know at a certain point at Wilkesboro, if you do pit, I think it's like 14th back, 12th back, 13th back, 14th back, somewhere there. If you pit, you're gonna go a lap down. And I was like, well, I'm not trying to go a lap down right here, so I'll stay out. Come to find out, if you got lapped while pitting, you were gonna get waved around. So
yeah, because it's not fair.
Yeah. So
really, I wish we could adjust. I wish iRacing would let you adjust the pace speed of the pit car or the pace car. It would fix a lot of issues like that.
Yeah, especially with like big fields at a track like that, that's so small. kind of
Yep.
screws a lot of stuff up.
Yeah, almost eliminates some of the little tracks from being able to run them.
So yeah, if I'd have known I wasn't going to go a lap down, I would probably pit there. But I stay out with Jeremy. Who you pointing at?
Somebody got caught. I don't know if I'm pointing at him or I don't know who I'm pointing to.
You're pointing like right between me and Garrett. I got caught at one point.
Well, Garrett, wherever he
Yeah,
is.
I got caught on that first stop, but I think Paul, you're actually the one that waved me around, right?
Yeah, because Andy waved everybody else around, and I don't think he knew that you were back there.
Garrett almost got left out. That would have been a long race, a lap down.
No, it wouldn't, because I'd have been the only one a lap down, and I'd have got it back like 3 laps later when we had a caution.
Yep.
Actually, it'd be about 26 laps. Well, I guess it'd be like 20 laps later after we went green. But lap 52, another caution comes out and trouble for the points leader. Andy Poliski gets caught up. Ethan Patterson running by himself. Loops it coming out of 1 and 2. Collects Andy. Blows him up. Ryan sneaks through somehow. I think he caught a bit of the wall, and that was it. I bet Andy was thanking the heavens above for that big points gap. Rough night. I think he finished like 25 laps down or something.
I'm not sure Andy was thanking anybody after that. I think Andy was probably using some words that we can't use on this here broadcast.
Yeah, I would imagine, but I'm saying at least for the points gap he has, he was probably thanking somebody. I think he led by 60 points going into Wilkesboro or something like that. Leads by 48 right now. I think I literally just looked at it. Yeah, leads by 48. So that was pretty much Andy's race done, and I'd say Andy was probably the quickest truck out there. Maybe him and Ryan, 1A, 1B type deal.
Like, I really thought Andy was going to dominate, and then Ryan got up there and took off, and I was like, oh, well, never mind. So
Andy for sure had top 3 speed.
Yes.
I don't know how long it would have held out had we gotten long green flag runs. I mean, we don't know. Andy's shown that he can maintain though. But I mean, it all depends on who works through the field, when the cautions fall. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, and I mean, talking about working through the field, that like we've talked about a bunch already. It was so hard to work through the field, everybody being too wide because the gap's so close between everybody now. I feel like it just closes down every week, closer and closer. Everybody's getting better and better. Couple laps later, lap 62, Paul Sargent gets loose on the exit of 4, bounces off Garrett, and Garrett kind of gets away with one there, not to get spun up into the wall. Keeps it straight.
Yeah, I've had to fight to keep it off the inside wall. Because when he got loose off the top, he hit me right in front of my right rear tire. And it pushed the tail of my truck around. I had to counter steer towards the wall and then back away from the wall to keep from hitting it.
That ended up collecting Pascal. Talked about him, most improved driver candidate. He's been solid this year. Gets caught up. I feel like watching this season earlier, he got just caught up in a lot of other people's stuff. He's done a really good job this season. Kyle Dumig, I don't know how he did it. I was in chat with him during the race, and I don't even know how he did it. He goes, "Wow, they all spun in front of me, but I didn't hit anybody." And I was like, "But Kyle, you're like way behind us," because I think Kyle was in front of me when the wreck happened because he had to pass me under caution. I was like, "Kyle, what do you mean everybody wrecked in front of you? You didn't hit anybody. Why are you all the way back there?" They spun. He went low, thinking they were going to go high, and they all ended up in front of him anyways, and he just backed it down like the veteran driver he is and missed it all. So hats off, Kyle Dumig, missing that wreck. He would end up having a rough last half of the race, though.
Yeah, Dumig's really good at staying out of incidents that happen in front of him. It's the problem. The problem a lot of times is he gets woed up, but other people behind him don't get woed up quite as quickly, and he gets hit and pushed into stuff a lot.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate because he does a really good job of instant avoidance.
Yeah, he's definitely, I know if I'm like spinning and it's like a self-inflicted spin, he's somebody I want behind me because I know he won't hit me. Because he knows how to use the brake pedal. Unlike there are plenty of people on the sim in general that don't. I had a C Open race at Phoenix get ruined because some idiot didn't know how to hit the brake pedal and used me instead. We go back green, lap 77. Kyle did a great job of avoiding the last incident, but this time loses it off of 4, ends up collecting Eric Breeding and Luke Carver. And this is an interesting caution. It splits the strategy again. I stayed out. Garrett stayed out. I think Paul Pitt, if I remember correctly, watching the replay. I should have wrote this down. I think Jan was the first one on pit road on lap 78 or 79, whenever the heck pit road actually opened. But it really splits the field in half, and this is a big decision at this point in the race. Nobody's pit since, I don't know, probably
26,
yeah,
25,
lap 20,
27.
lap 26 or 27, whenever the pits opened for the caution on lap 26. And then I hadn't pit since lap 52. So I only had about 20 green flag, well, maybe not even 20 green flag laps on my tires, but yeah, probably about there. So I stayed out. I was feeling really good. I thought I'd done a really good job saving behind Garrett at this point in the race. And I was picking guys off as I went. I was starting to finally find a groove. I kind of struggled early in the race too. I didn't know where to be fast at, and then I started to kind of get quicker in every lane I went to. So started picking some guys off, ended up behind Garrett, and then the caution comes out, splits the strategy. We go green, and having some good battles, and then lap 95, a 20 lap run, or 15 lap run, whatever, caution comes out. Kyle Dumig, rough night continues, spins out. I think Kyle was shifting listening to the replay, and there weren't many guys that were. I know Andy was at some points, and I'm just wondering if third gear, a little bit too much wheel speed, ended up zipping him around. And then
I really tried to keep my rear tires cooled off because it kept you from getting too loose on corner exit.
yeah, if you
Yeah,
I didn't worry about shifting.
I tried shifting a little bit in practice, and for a short period of time it was okay, but you definitely got those rears hot if you done it for too long, and you would get loose coming off the corner.
yeah, and I think it was so hard there because the track was hot, and I mean, Paul, you were talking earlier about sliding your front tires. You got a lot of the guys that are sliding their rear tires. I mean, that makes going into the corner harder. There was a couple of times in practice I'd go around as hard as I could for like 20 laps and really be sliding the rear end all over the place. And even going into the corner, it made it hard because it just wanted to come around. Well, lap 96, big stop. I think I'd worked my way up to third, something like that, from the last pit stop. Nathan, Chad, and I, and going into pit road, I think Ryan was behind me, and there was a whole gaggle. A lot of people pit here. I think the guys that pit on lap 77 stayed out, and I beat Chad Stearns off of pit road, and that's kind of, it would have been a bigger deal if it didn't become a moot point because Chad ended up getting DC'd by the sim.
Yeah, he'd have been a battle for you, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was about half a truck away from beating Nathan off pit road too. I was pretty surprised. I came out at like his door, and I was like, dang, I almost had him. And I was like, well, that's probably the last I'll see of Nathan in this race. He's probably just gonna take off on me. So we have a restart, and then Kyle Dumig spins it again. Tough night continues, and then business really picks up. There's about 50 laps to go ish, little under 50 at this point. Everybody's really into race mode now. All the dudes that have been riding, gonna get up on the wheel and start picking up the business. Is that what Clint says all the time? Business is about to pick up, something stupid like that. I hate Clint Boyer in the booth. He just says the same stupid shit every week. Sorry, I'll let that get to me. I'm about to watch the race, which is the bad part when we're done recording here. So I'm gonna have to listen to him and Danica. Woo. Paul, I have to say thank you, by the way. We have a restart. The first restart, I started on the bottom. And then the second restart, after Kyle spins himself, I got to restart on the top. And Nathan restarted on the bottom. And Paul is one of those guys that pit on lap 77. Nathan gets stacked up behind Paul, and I get around Nathan, and the caution comes out. So thank you, Paul.
It's doing my job. I mean,
it's probably, I don't want to say that's the only way I would have got around Nathan, but it is one of the few ways I probably would have actually gotten in front of him.
Yeah.
Caution comes out on lap 109. Jan gets into Jeremy. They were just kind of going for the same piece of asphalt, and that relegates Jeremy to the back. Jan stays up front because he kept the truck straight. I think it was lap 117 to lap 121. After we have a restart, I started picking dudes off that pit on lap 77, and I get myself up in a second place. And as that's happening in the back of the field, where were you guys running at, Garrett?
Like 11th, 12th.
Okay. So just outside the top 10, Ryan, Jeremy, and Garrett, 3 wide. And Wilkesboro is not a track that you are supposed to go 3 wide at.
Jeremy, I think hit for tires after he spun.
Yeah.
He had freshies. And Ryan, I was like 3 positions behind that. I restarted like 14, 15, somewhere in there. Over that run, I started, like you said earlier, yeah, it was go time. So I started going. I was passing guys. I got up to Ryan. I saw the 2 or 3 corners prior, Ryan was kind of getting loose on corner exit. So I knew, all I had to do was maintain my line. He would break loose. I would get around him. About the time I got to Ryan, Jeremy got to me. Jeremy was on the bottom, Ryan was on bottom. I was on the top line. We were still 2x2, but I was faster. I think I had Brantley in front of me. And it was just, trying to get the top line to go, bottom line to check up. We were just trying to get around. By the time I got to Ryan, Jeremy got to us. And having seen Ryan was loose, I was trying to give him a little bit of room because I did see him, tail him slide a little bit a few times. And yeah, going into 1 and 2, Jeremy sent it in low. I was on the top side. That put Ryan in the middle. The entirety of the backstretch, my right side was about, frog hair from the wall. Ryan was in the middle, and Jeremy was about second groove up, and there just wasn't any room.
Yeah, it's I believe I took somebody 3 wide last time we were here. I was in a similar situation as Jeremy after changed lanes on the restart like a dummy. I went in, got new tires, and I was like, I'm just gonna drive past everybody, and I think I took somebody 3 wide. Only difference is the only person I wrecked was myself. I clipped the curb going into 3 and 4 and spun into. I think I hit Michael Dean, but that's about it.
Well, it wasn't really. I mean, nobody wrecked anybody. Jeremy held his line low. I held my line high. Ryan got a little bit loose on that corner exit and was trying to careen it the entire straightaway, and there just wasn't enough room for him to get it back straight. It was just ping ponging from me to Jeremy. He bounced down into Jeremy, spun Jeremy. It turned him directly back up into me, T-boned me, which turned me directly into the wall.
Which then
Wall caught me, threw me 150 feet in the air. I landed on my roof, and that was the end of my race until the last couple laps. I come out to hold my position because Andy and someone else was back on track and would have
I think
passed me.
Luke. I think Luke was the other
That's
one.
right. Yep.
Oh
They
yeah,
would have passed my lap, so I came back out and ran like 2 laps at the end.
they turned you into Space Force. The turn 3 wall did, anyways. Which is weird. I've never seen that happen at Wilkesboro. I've never seen the wall grab somebody like that and just
Yeah, it's
eat
been
them.
happening a lot lately. I hate it. I don't
Yeah.
understand why that happens. Because I
It's,
mean, I would have had bad damage. I
it
probably
seems like
would have
there's
been. Go
something
ahead.
in the collision model in the front of the trucks that if you hit it just right on any wall, it grabs you.
Stupid. Fix your stuff, iRacing. Fix the damage model on the trucks. Bums. Just kidding. I'm sorry. Don't like kick me off or anything. What's the score?
82-62 with 16 seconds left. Alabama is your SEC tournament champions as well as regular season champions. Secured a
Who'd they
#1 seed for the NCAA tournament.
who'd they beat?
A&M.
You get live sports announcements on this show now. That's pretty cool. Where else do you get that?
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, he says. We have another restart. Steve picks the bottom, which I thought was interesting because and we'll get to this later, I would have wanted the top on a restart on old tires. I wouldn't have wanted to be pinned down on the bottom and have to try and be pinned down on the bottom on old tires. So Steve takes a green flag, jumps up into the top lane in front of me before the start-finish line, and then a couple of laps later, drove around him on the outside and took the lead. And thanks to Steve and Paul, I wouldn't have won this. Ended up winning this race without them. Steve made Nathan burn his tires up. Paul got him stacked up, so I got around him. So thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Lap 139, the final caution comes out, and this is, I think, a big moment for me personally because the caution comes out, and every time I'm like leading a race late, all I can think is please no cautions, because every time, and it doesn't matter if it's an official or if it's a league race, even though I don't lead league races late very much. All I can think is Bristol season 2 when the caution came out with like 10 to go there and I was leading, and I was like, here we go again. I was like, the only bonus part is I'm definitely not pitting here because I'm not pitting from first. Everybody else behind me could pit, and I would try and hang it out. But Rodney Matney was all over Corey and basically shoved Corey through Eric Breeding, spinning Corey. Ryan Borbim gets collected again. We're going to restart with 8 to go, I think. Something like that. And, took the top. Nathan's on the bottom. The restart zone at Wilkesboro is very, very, very short. Basically, the pace car leaves and it's green. So the pace car left. I got to the restart zone, and before the green flag could drop, hit the gas, and then the green went, and Brantley and Nathan battled it out for second. And Brantley,
That was
Gainey,
a heck of a race.
Oh yeah,
For second place.
Yeah. Yeah, you and Nathan running away on what, 55 lap old tires or something?
yeah, something like that at that point. Yeah, we put on 96.
Yeah.
Which is a cool callback. I've talked about this to a couple of guys. Garrett's one of them. My last pit stop came on lap 96. So shout out to my number, the 96.
Yeah.
That is pretty interesting little nugget of information. Brantley Gainey back to back, not only podiums but top 2s for the 22. Nathan comes home third. He choked the 1-2 that he wanted so bad. I'm just kidding. Nathan had his hands full. I don't know how he did it because he used his stuff up.
Watching his replay back, I don't think I've ever seen anybody drive a truck so hard for so long and actually keep what they had like that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. He he kept telling me under caution. He goes, "I burnt my stuff up. I burnt my stuff up. I'm not gonna catch you. I burnt my stuff up." And all I can think is, yeah, bullshit. Like, I've seen you drive. You have never, ever, ever talked about burning your stuff up. There's no way you burn your stuff up. And like, that's all I could think to myself. And I was like, well, that just means one thing. We're gonna have to beat him on even tires. And yeah, no, he burnt his stuff up. I didn't believe him until I went back and watched his video. Nathan comes home P3. He's on the podium. It's pretty cool to share the podium with the boss, I think. I don't even know who owns 3BM, so we'll say he's the boss for now. JVL Jan comes home with the top 4. Michael Krall. Michael the Megastar. Megastar Michael Krall.
Finally did not have somebody try to take him out this race.
Yes, and Krall was on the same tire strategy as Brantley and Jan. I think he was in front of Brantley and Jan at one point, if I'm not mistaken. He was the lead truck of that.
Before that last restart, he was, I think, 3rd.
Yeah.
And he got at that restart, you jumped. Nathan spun his tires a little bit, and that's how he and Brantley wound up side by side. And Krall was just inherently behind him, and then Jan was able to get around behind you.
That's tough. But I do love a top 5 for Michael Krall. That is awesome. Super, like I said, me and him, we had some really good battles throughout the day. Super proud of Michael Krall. Super happy for him too. That dude deserved the top 5.
Absolutely.
Paul comes home in 6th.
Yep.
Beautiful paint scheme while doing it. Will Salamone in 7th. Will ran really strong. He was in the top 5 most of the day, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Will was a little faster than me. Michael Dean was too at the end, but I was running the mid to high, and so they couldn't get around me.
Yeah,
I used it to my advantage.
Well, if you got trapped on the bottom, good luck. I made like one pass early in the race on the bottom, and it was on Pascal, and he just let me have it. So Pascal, if you watch this, thank you.
Yeah, any other part in the race, you know how I do. I would have just let him go, but
yeah, not
the last few laps.
Speaking of Michael Dean, he comes home P8. Jeff Langston and Steve Roman round out the top 10. Eric Breeding, Ryan Dye, Cole Maxwell, Paul Sargent, Kyle Dumig, 11th through 15th. And then Rodney Matney, 16th. Jeremy McKinnon, 17th. Ryan Borboom, 18th. Corey Rutherford, 19th. Chad Stearns, 20th after getting DC'd. Pascal, Garrett, Luke Peterson, Andy Poliski, and Ethan, oh my goodness, Patterson is 21 through 25. That is...
Well, that's a good new nickname for him. Ethan, oh my goodness, Patterson. I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, he'll get the hang of it. I think you said what? He just joined the service before he joined the league.
He's still wet behind the ears as far as iRacing goes.
Yeah, this is the only asphalt he's run. He ran some before the season started, just to get his license up a little bit, and then our league.
He'll get the hang of it though. It's a little difficult, but a lot of seat time will help him. And he's got good teammates right now to help him too. So the Alabama gang. But yeah, what a race! 2 out of 3 in the throwback race for your boy. Pretty cool. Too bad I can't win in my own freaking paint scheme. That would be nice to do one time.
I think it's the first time I've run a special scheme that I've finished. No, when I ran my Layton scheme at Atlanta, I actually finished decent, but I still damaged.
Yeah. Oh man. Choked Watkins Glen in the DQ scheme. That's about all I can think of off the top of my head. Oh yeah, Wilkesboro, season 3, 2. And Talladega, Michael Dean pushed me in the middle of the corner, which was kind of my fault. Should have just held my wheels straighter. Whatever. Whatever. Can't win in my own paint schemes, it's fine. I'll take it. Gives me a chance to show off other people's cool paints that I like. I've done a lot of talking.
Yeah.
Too much. There is some more things you need to talk about here.
What do we want to talk about?
Big Venom news has broke since the last podcast.
Breaking news. We're going to send it over to Garrett.
I mentioned last week, keep your eyes on the team news. I'd heard rumbles and rumors that some big things may be happening to some big teams. obviously, prior to last podcast, John announced his free agency at the end of this season. John, have you got any update on your free agency? Where you may be headed? Have you talked to anybody? Where are you looking at for next season, or can you discuss that?
Yeah, Junior Motorsports gave me a call.
Oh yeah. Okay,
They want me to be the janitor.
that's
I'm,
about.
I'm
Yeah,
just kidding.
that makes sense.
No, I haven't really talked to anybody about anything yet. There's no openings, so
Yeah, that's the other part is a lot of the established teams right now, they do have 4 solid across the board. Yeah, I mean, new team potentially. You looking at starting your own, maybe?
maybe I think running a team's too much work. Nathan started 3BM, I think, with like illegal Ethiopian money or some stuff like
Goats.
that. Goats. And then he left me in charge of it, and man, I'm not gonna lie, like I don't want to deal with that. Like I don't like dealing with people. I just want to race. I know I had a long talk with people in season 1 about, or my first season, season 2, about starting my own team at some point. I'm a pretty popular guy, who wouldn't want to drive for me. But it's just too much work. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. I
So
just want to drive.
I enjoy that aspect of it. Obviously, I ran for Super Kick in season 2. Seasons 3 and 4, I was with RNS. I had reached out to Paul, gauging interest about, hey man, I would really like to do this Alabama game thing. Being the two guys from the state, both have that love and that tie to the heritage of, the original Alabama gang and the Ellison family and the guys that ran with them. And he was very interested, so I'm happy we made that decision. We'll be back for season 6. That's a guarantee, and we're coming. We're coming this time. This first season was a filling out process. We filled the roster with some guys. Really like them. We're coming in season 6. But the other breaking news that we've had since the last podcast, I'm looking at it now. It was announced by the Racing Action Motorsports Network of America, RAVNA, has learned that a mysterious buyer put in a bid to take control of the Venom Truck Series team RNS Motorsports, a fixture, a dominant team in its time.
The team.
It has seen 4 series championships. It has seen multiple, I think 3 or 4 team championships.
3
It's
or 4.
unheard of. This is Hendrick Motorsports being
Years
bought
is-
out. This is huge ramifications on our series. John, I know you had an alliance with them. Have you heard anything? What the where these guys are going to fall? I mean, do you know any insider information here?
They are 2-time champs, by the way.
Okay, I was thinking they might have 3.
We won it with Zittle last season.
Zittolink won it last season, and then
Yes.
Outlaw Motorsports won it in season 1.
That team.
Yeah, that team won it. I don't know any insider information. I bought the rights to the number 2. So the number 2 is going
What
with
did that
me.
cost you, by the way? A Jolly Rancher or?
It didn't cost me anything because it's all fake, but
What?
I'm kidding. No,
Kayfabe.
Kayfabe. Sorry. It cost me 2 most popular driver trophies and a bag of peanuts. But I get to keep the number 2 wherever I go. I bought it from Nathan and 3BM, so whoever acquires my services acquires the number 2. I'm keeping all my sponsorship. I'm gonna have a ride next season. I don't know where at.
Hey, Paul, do you hear this? This guy's bringing sponsorship and paint schemes already. We wouldn't have to help him.
Yeah.
All we have to do is provide the sheet metal and the motor.
Yeah. Well, hell, I used all the sheet metal this year. We may not have extra.
I know the story I wrote about leaving 3BM or 3BM being dissolved. I know Andy put a little broke guy racing thing on there. So
Yeah, he's dreaming.
Oh,
maybe Andy
All he has
Paluski,
is maple syrup. That's all he has.
maybe he tries to take a shot. But yeah, I
Jeremy.
guess
Jeremy said he was taking the maple syrup with him.
yeah, he did.
So what does broke guy have?
I don't know. They're trying to steal Mike.
Championship.
They're trying to
Texas.
Texas. They're trying to steal Michael Crawl from you guys. Crawl was talking about if they kept the maple syrup, if he could have it. So
Crawl's always looking, but he knows where his home is.
yeah. So we'll see. I don't know what's happening
He's our Calabamian.
Listen, Michael,
Calabamian.
if you're watching this, I can increase the 1x1 living space to a 3x3. All right, look, I will increase the living space. I just need you to hang around.
And besides, we have Golden Eagle syrup, which
And we
is
have
way better
we have
than
Alabama
maple
Sunshine
syrup.
hot sauce.
Yes, way better than any maple syrup.
Yeah.
Cane sugar's much better.
I don't know. We're gonna see what happens. I think the next couple weeks, next week, hopefully, we'll have more information on the RNS story. I don't know. I don't know anything. I know Nathan sold off his share of RNS 2 seasons ago. 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, it was. If not, it was prior to this season.
It was prior to fully fund 3BM. Where he got that money, we'll never know. But yeah, so RNS being bought out is huge. Maybe Ryan goes Indy racing. I think he ran second in the Indy 500. Oh shit, I can't say that. The US
the
US
Open
Wheel 500.
500 at that oval track.
It's more like
square oval.
It's more like a rectangle, but yeah.
Had something to do with bricks.
Allegedly. So yeah, maybe that's what he goes and does. I don't know. I think we'll see him back in the trucks. I'm not sure where he's gonna go. I don't know what it means.
Wouldn't be the same without Ryan.
I don't know what it means for Kyle Zittel. That's huge.
Zittle's got his own team. Zittel could always go run for his own team.
He always bitches and moans about running for his own team because he lets other guys from other teams come use his toilet, and then
I left a lot of frozen goat. I'm not gonna say where the goat came from, but I left a lot of frozen goat in the freezers at Zittel when I left.
What'd you do to one of my goats?
Look, when they're spying,
they weren't spying.
Binoculars.
They're goats.
They had binoculars.
They were sunglasses.
They had binoculars.
It's sunglasses, man. It's on the logo. Jeez.
They wasn't keeping the grass cut. I know that.
All right, that's probably fair, and they probably shit everywhere too.
Besides, I'm from Alabama. We love goat.
Really? Is that a thing?
Oh yeah, it's delicious.
I've been told that if you start an IB with red wine on a goat while it's still living, its heart will marinate it on the hoof. Then you can just go up and kill it, and it's ready to cook right then and there.
I mean, they'll eat anything, so doesn't surprise me. What have you been feeding your goats, John? You could just let them go and they'll eat whatever.
They just go do whatever they want. Honestly, there's no goats anymore. Everybody keeps bringing the goats back. I let the goats go. PETA took them or something.
I mean, I only got a couple of them. I think Jeremy did a goat-aside.
Yeah, Jeremy did. Jeremy was very against the goats.
He wasn't having it.
Is there any other team news? I think Insert Coin's all sticking together. I haven't heard any news about.
I haven't heard anything out of Insert Coin. Jeremy
taking a break
is undecided, I think, at this point, but he has mentioned potentially running a few one-off races in season 6, but probably not being full-time, which may in fact open a spot at Broke Guy Racing, defending team champions at this point. And there may be a spot there if anybody out there is interested. You cannot have Michael Crawl, Andy. Don't even think about it. Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait and see what opens up for my options. Maybe we go to Texas. Who knows? Ooh. Yeah, that's about all I got. We touched on team news. Broadcast was great. Will Williamson did a great job. Oh man, yeah, that guy hates me.
Do you blame him?
No, I don't. I hate me too. It's okay. Uh, so yeah, great job, Matt. Honestly, Tommy not being there, one man crew,
That's tough.
killed it. Absolutely killed it. It was fantastic to watch back. Um, great interviews. Hopefully, we can be on the podium again this week. Who knows? Darlington gonna be crazy.
I'll tell you who
165
will
laps.
not be on the podium at Darlington. And this guy.
Why not?
I hate that place. They need to tear it down and try again. That
Lost your
track,
mind.
that track, I
Lost
just
your mind.
Blasphemy. Blasphemy. I love that place. Very special place to me.
I would love to go watch a race there. I would absolutely love to go there to watch a race. I just driving that track. Y'all can have it. I'll be there.
You can't
Because
read
I
it.
have sponsorship obligations to be there. But I'll be fighting for a top 20.
The last time we were at Darlington, I tried to kill Garrett.
I'm looking to add another
And
one
I
of these this week.
Killed myself instead, 5 laps in.
I'm gonna look like such a prick for the last 5 minutes of this podcast.
Well,
for doing
hey,
that.
they say just be yourself, you know.
I'm a nice guy.
Allegedly.
Everybody hates me. Oh man, that's all I've got. I'm done. I want to go watch NASCAR.
Paul, what you got? Anything?
Paul, yeah, Paul, what you got?
I just thought of something a minute ago and now I forgot it. But yeah, Darlington, 165 laps. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a fun race.
It's gonna be hot.
Yep.
For a little bit, then it's gonna cool off because it's a transition race, which is
Yeah,
awesome.
that's the other thing. We're gonna have to take turn 3 about 50 times, and you can't see shit. You just can't see anything. You're driving down the backstretch blind into the worst corner in racing, and it's like, why? Why are we doing this to ourselves, guys? Why?
Because it's fun.
Why?
Sadomasochist.
I don't know what that word means. I'm looking forward to it. I don't care if I can't see. I just drive the truck. Know the track like the back of my hand. Venom Classic Cup news. We might be going to Gen 4 next season. Very happy.
Also, Will Salamone locked up that championship last week. Great job, Will.
Salamander.
Proud of you, man.
Great job on the grip hacks, my friend. I'm just kidding.
No, that was
I'm just kidding. He's good.
50-something lap old tires up there.
He is really good in those cars. I'm jealous. I wish I was that good.
I figured him out a little too late in the season.
I got to run one race.
Thursday
nights are not a good night.
I'm sure we'll go back to them. I would love to run the ARCA cars, Gen 4 Cup cars. There's a slash in there. They're the same thing. For a little bit. They're going to update the ARCA car, I guess. But... Ooh.
That's what they say.
Paul, did you get to say your last thing? Did you still...
No, I still can't remember what it was. I mean, you get my age, things come and go.
Yeah, they say the mind's one of the first things to go.
Yeah,
happy birthday. Happy
things
birthday,
pop.
Paul.
Thank you. Things pop in your head and then they're gone, never to be seen again.
Happy birthday,
Sometimes
Ryan
I'm thankful for that. Yes, happy birthday, Ryan Dye. Sometimes I'm thankful for it. Sometimes it's not great.
Don't get old, kids.
Happy birthday, Ryan Dye. You old man.
Yeah.
We had a lot of birthdays this week, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Mine's in 2 weeks.
Woo! Happy birthday, Garrett.
Me and Paul will be inverse numbers at that point.
Good God, you're young.
34.
I'm going to talk about the kid up there.
34 on the 27th.
All I can see is that Garrett knows how to wear a hat properly. John has not figured out what the hats are for. Like that sticks out for a reason. You're the one that stands around like this, right? With your hat on backwards.
Me?
Yeah, you're out in the sun. You're going.
Have I done that before? I
don't know. I just figured you probably were.
I probably did that in Darlington at Bristol.
Look! When I grew up, people would cut an arrow in your hat so you know which way it faced forward if you wore it backwards. See, it's even worse now because that bill's so flat.
Yeah, that's how I bought it, though. Can't see my
Can't see a fucking thing.
I can see just fine.
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
All right.
Anyways, back to actual racing.
I gotta race to the bathroom. Oh God.
We got Darlington and Rockingham.
Yes.
I'm actually looking forward a little bit to Rockingham. Not gonna lie about that one.
I am too. We haven't been there since like
I like
season
that
2.
track.
Has it been that long since we've been there?
It's been a while.
Season
It was
2.
either 2 or 3.
Season 2, because I almost wrecked Andy there and Michael Crawl all in one.
I was riding Andy's bumper there, and somebody come off the wall, clipped Andy, and I just ate him up with the front of my truck, killed me. I felt really good there.
Yeah. I'm excited. I love short tracks. It's going to be a tough driver track, and that's usually where I seem to do better. So we'll see what happens. Knowing that, now that I said that, I'll probably suck. So, oh well. Garrett, any last words? Since Paul can't remember his.
I don't think I have anything important really. I think I'm said all I need to say other than putting the league on notice. Alabama gang is coming for you in season 6.
Big
Not
words.
playing around this time.
Big
We're coming.
words.
Be ready.
Let's go get those Chevy motors figured out.
Hey man, they're fast. They are fast.
One win on dirt this year for Chevy.
What?
Only one win. Only one win for Chevy.
It's
this
coming.
Season.
It's coming.
And it was flinky on dirt. What?
Wilkesboro.
Were you in the Chevy?
Yeah.
I may need to go update something. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been driving Chevy all season.
Well, I don't even think I added the win for the manufacturer on that one.
No, that's fine.
My bad.
My win's not important anyways.
My bad.
You're right. It's not.
Who won?
That's okay.
It's just because Nathan, held him off and let him win.
Who won Texas again, guys? Oh, that's right.
Who won?
Nobody.
Oh, I gave it to Ford because you're driving on a team that normally drives Fords.
It's been driving Chevys all year. It was supposed to be Toyotas, but Kyle Busch doesn't drive a Toyota anymore, so we drive Chevys.
Oh, interesting. You got a Chevy win.
I did.
That's something. It's quite interesting.
Ooh. Let's go Chevy. Bow tie or die.
I like the way this man talks there, Garrett.
Yeah.
I do too. Hey, John, you're a free agent, huh?
How much do you like honey viscosity syrup?
All right, we got to go. We got things to discuss. I'm just kidding. Next week, Darlington, we've talked about it. It's going to be hot. It's going to be slick. If you're watching this, go practice because I don't want to run a bunch of caution laps. I want to run green flag laps because they're more fun. Yes. That's coming from your two-time most popular driver. Not that anybody gives a damn, but I do. Yeah, Venomcast podcast next week. More officials coming this week. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. Please and thank you. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. This will get posted on Facebook, I'm sure, at some point. So, yeah. Thanks for watching.
Yep.
Thanks for recording, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on, Paul. Good luck in your race. Blazing Pedals League. Garrett, have fun adminning the Blazing Pedals League.
Yep. Gonna throw Paul a penalty tonight.
I don't need any penalty.
You better stay the right side of pit road.
Man. I'm gonna go watch NASCAR.
I could have got you at Sonoma, Paul, and I didn't. First pit stop, you exited basically through the first pit box.
It happens.
But to be fair, there were about 10 other people do the exact same thing.
I don't remember what happened,
including Mark. And I was like, I am not trying to go back and penalize 10, 12 people because I know how that pit road exits to the left.
Yeah.
It's that sharp turn to the left going up the hill at pit
exit. I made sure I stayed on the yellow line on the way in.
That's more what I was concerned about was entry.
Yeah.
All right, boys.
I'm out of here.